Two astronauts aboard the International Space Station have finished up a 6.5-hour spacewalk to boost power at the ISS. NASA is in the process of installing 6 new solar array wings. The wings produce all of the electrical power on board the space station. NASA officials say the original wings have degraded over the years and no longer generate the power that they did when they were new. There have been concerns about the aging space station. Last week, astronauts fixed a problem after crew members reported seeing smoke and smelling burnt plastic coming from charging batteries. The International Space Station is expected to be decommissioned at the end of 2024. SpaceX is preparing for its first all-civilian human spaceflight mission to orbit. The mission is called Inspiration 4, and the crew will embark on a 3-day journey around Earth this week. They'll be on board a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft when it launches from NASA's Kennedy Space Center on Wednesday. Business entrepreneur Jared Isaacman is funding the private flight. 3 other people will join him. The all-civilian crew has been training for the past 6 months. This mission could set a pathway of normalcy for people wanting to explore space. For more, I want to bring in CBS News space analyst Bill Harwood. Bill, Jared Isaacman handpicked this crew to reflect the idea that space will eventually be accessible to everyone. Tell us a little bit more about the people who will be on board.
Well, as you mentioned, Isaacman is quite the entrepreneur. He dropped out of high school at 16. He formed a company called Shift 4 Payments that processes credit cards and other payments from hotels, restaurants, things like that. He's a billionaire today, and he wants to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. He wants to raise $200 million for the research institution, and that's the ostensible goal behind this flight. He's a veteran pilot himself. He owns a fleet of high-performance fighter jets, and he frequently goes flying in those and sets world records in the process. I think the poster child for this mission, though, is Haley Arsenault. When she was 10 years old, she suffered from bone cancer. She went to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. They successfully treated her. They installed a prosthetic device in one of her leg bones. And she's now a physician's assistant at St. Jude. I mean, talk about full circle. And Isaacman thought she was the perfect choice to go on this flight. And so she will become the youngest person to ever fly in orbit at age 29. And then the 2 other crew members, Chris Simbrowski is a Lockheed Martin aerospace engineer, and Sian Proctor is an astronaut candidate. She almost became a professional astronaut with NASA. She's an artist and a poet and a science educator. So it's a well-rounded crew, and I think if you had to pick 4 civilians to blaze a new trail, these are excellent choices.
Such interesting people, both with Dr. Proctor actually writing a book about a cookbook for Mars. It's interesting to see how they're symbolic. But I'm wondering, Bill, is this mission just a symbolic joyride, or is this crew actually going to do some actual work in orbit?
They are going to do some work. There are medical experiments on board that the astronauts are going to participate in. As I said, Haley Arsenault is a physician's assistant. She's certainly qualified for that. She's the medical officer, if you will. So they say they'll have a pretty busy timeline, and I'm sure they will, and I'm sure the science will be worthwhile. But I really think it's the symbolism of the first all-civilian, non-government crew to fly in orbit. You know, we all gave a lot of attention to Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson when they flew their suborbital trips recently up to the edge of space. But those were up and down flights. This is in orbit, a vastly more complicated, more challenging technological endeavor. And this will be the first non-government sponsored mission to do that with an all-civilian crew. So it's a milestone for sure. Whether it's something that will evolve into an ongoing business model of some sort, I mean, I don't know, but I think it is a milestone.
So, Bill, tell us, how have they been preparing for the flight, and especially given that Haley Arsenault is going to be the first person in space with a prosthetic? Have there been any particular challenges?
Not in that sense, but Jared Isaacman, as we've said, is quite the experienced aviator, and he takes all of this very seriously indeed. The entire crew's gone flying in those high-performance jets he owns. They've been in centrifuge training to familiarize themselves with the kind of accelerations they'll feel on takeoff and reentry. They've done flight simulations in the SpaceX Crew Capsule, and I'll show you what it looks like. I mean, this is what the Crew Dragon capsule looks like, but those 4 astronauts, I'll call them astronauts, the 4 civilians, really spend the entire flight in a very small capsule. They'll be cooped up in there for about 3 days, but then again, they'll be weightless and they'll have an unbelievable view of the Earth below, so I'm sure they're going to have fun. In terms of preparation, I think they've done a reasonable amount. I mean, they're not professional astronauts, but the SpaceX Crew Dragon is a fully automated spacecraft. They don't actually fly it, and so I think they'll be as prepared as they can be.
Wouldn't mind that view personally. So, Bill, tell us, how important is this flight to the larger goal of privatizing space travel?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, when you think about what it costs to do this, even those suborbital flights by Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, you know, tickets are expected to cost $500,000 each, somewhere in that ballpark. Orbital flight's a different story. A Falcon 9 rocket from SpaceX, just to buy the rocket is somewhere between $50 and $60 million. If you look at the cost per seat, he may have paid up to $200 million for this flight. We really don't know the details, but it's not cheap. And as long as prices stay in that stratospheric realm, or maybe astronomical is a better word, it's hard to see this becoming commonplace. Then again, as Elon Musk himself has said, you have to start somewhere. And that's how Jared Isaacman looks at this, starting somewhere, hoping to open the door, and they fly more and more and more, the price will eventually come down. The question is, can they do it long enough and safely enough to sustain that interest and get the prices down?
All right, Bill, thank you.